What if you could own a piece of the Mona Lisa? No, I'm serious. Not a poster you bought in the gift shop, but an actual, verifiable share of the masterpiece itself. Well, today we're diving into a concept called ARTDORADO that wants to make that a reality. Let's see how they're pulling it off.
Come on, let's be honest. You've been there, right? Standing in a museum, staring at some incredible painting, and you get that little whisper in the back of your mind. Wow, I wish a tiny piece of that could actually be mine. It's a feeling we've all had, but for pretty much all of us, it's always just been a daydream. And that's just the hard reality of it. The world of fine art can feel like this super exclusive club, with a very literal velvet rope separating us from the art. It's beautiful, it's inspiring, but it's also been fundamentally off-limits to, well, almost everybody. So this brings us to what we can call the velvet rope problem. Why? Why is this world so walled off? Let's actually break down the big reasons. Okay, it really comes down to a few core things. First, the obvious one. The price tags are just astronomical. Second, it's a confusing market, It's notoriously hard to get your foot in the door. But there's a third problem, one we don't talk about enough. The artists who poured their soul into the work, they usually get paid just once, from that very first sale, and then they get nothing as their art's value skyrockets over the years. So how do you finally cut that velvet rope? What if technology could pry open a brand new door? This leads us to a pretty wild idea. What if you could just own a single pixel of the painting? The whole idea is called micropixel ownership, and at its heart, it's beautifully simple. You take a masterpiece, you create a perfect, high-res digital copy, and then you slice that file up into thousands of tiny, ownable shares that anybody can buy, sell, or trade. So how does this actually work in practice? It's basically a three-step dance. First, you digitize it. The physical art gets scanned into this incredible ultra-high-resolution file. Then, you divide it. That file gets partitioned into a set number of shares, say 10,000 of them. And finally, you own it. Each of those little shares becomes its own unique digital asset that you can buy, proving you own a fraction of that masterpiece. All right, so I know what you're thinking. A unique digital asset? What does that even mean? How can you actually prove you own a tiny digital square of a famous painting? Well, the tech behind it is actually a lot more straightforward than it sounds. Let's get into the mechanics. Think about it like this. The old way to prove you owned a piece of art was a fancy paper certificate, probably locked away somewhere in a vault. The new way? It's basically a secure, public, digital land registry. You've heard of it? It's the blockchain. Every single sale is recorded for everyone to see, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that your piece is yours. Just stop and think about that number for a second. 10,000. One single priceless work of art transformed into 10,000 ownable pieces. That means a piece of art that was once for one person can now be genuinely co-owned by thousands. That is the incredible power of this idea. So, what does this whole digital registry thing really guarantee you? Three absolutely crucial things. First, total transparency. You can see a clear history of every owner, ever. Second, ironclad security. Your ownership is locked in with cryptography. And third, guaranteed authenticity. There's a permanent, unbreakable link between your digital share and the original masterpiece. Okay, the tech is really cool for sure, but the real question is, who actually wins here? Let's look at how this new model could create a system where everyone, from the artist to the everyday fan, gets a much better deal. And what's amazing is that the benefits are spread all over the place. For someone just starting out, it's a way to begin a real art collection with just a small investment. For serious investors, it turns art into a liquid asset, something you can actually trade easily. For the artists, wow, this is a total game changer. They can earn royalties every single time a share of their work is resold. And for the rest of us, the fans, we finally get to own a piece of the art we've always loved. And this whole thing goes way beyond just a financial transaction. It's really about building a community. Owning a micropixel isn't just an asset in a digital wallet. It's like your membership card into a new club of art lovers, with perks like access to exclusive events and digital exhibitions. All right, so what does all of this mean for the future? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the massive potential this has to completely rewrite the next chapter for the entire global art market. What's really fascinating is the potential scale here. You've got the multi-billion-dollar traditional art market on one side, just steeped in history and prestige. And on the other, you have the super dynamic, tech-savvy NFT market. Micropixel ownership doesn't make you choose, it merges them. It brings the credibility of fine art and smashes it together with the accessibility of digital assets, creating a brand new market that could be way bigger than either one on its own. And listen, this isn't just some fantasy. There's a really clear roadmap for how to get there. It all starts small and smart, with a pilot project using just a single artwork to prove the concept works. The next step is absolutely key, building that core community of early believers. From there, you launch a full digital gallery platform, and then you go global, scaling up with international artists and gallery partnerships. So when you boil all this down, what is really happening here? For centuries, the doors to the fine art world have been pretty much bolted shut for most people. This technology, it represents a fundamental change. Simply put, art is being democratized.
So we're left with this one huge question. We've seen technology completely upend music, film, you name it. Is the art world finally next? Could one tiny, ownable digital pixel really be the key that unlocks the gallery doors for all of us forever? It's a pretty powerful thought.